mother,
So we'll
grandmother's.
open
dying
this
and
February 10th
living with
meeting
her.
of 2016 of the North Bennington Prudential Graded School Prudential Committee at 7:07. And the first item on the agenda is for public comments, and I see nobody here to make public comments. So the second item is an error, budget work session, so we'll strike that off. We're done with budget work sessions.
I
The
thought
third
so.
item is budget status report and treasurer's report. I think we needn't really do anything other than accept that we have the treasurer's report.
There's
Unless there's a
nothing
question.
unusual or noteworthy.
Yeah. So, does the board accept the report from its treasurer?
I do.
I do. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I guess we had, that was a motion and a second. We don't normally do that, though. So, consent agenda. Consent agenda. Okay, I don't have the consent agenda on that.
It's not in that packet.
Well,
This
there
one?
ought to be one. Yes, thank you. I
Yeah,
didn't
I'm
get
not
it
seeing
from
it,
the
I'm
mail.
not seeing it in the packet either, I just opened it.
So there's minutes from our meeting, our last regular meeting in January 13th of 2016. And then minutes from our meeting of January 26th, 2016. In the minutes for the 26th are about mostly consumed with the actual warning of the annual meeting.
Right.
And I see no reason to not.
But that's the
accept
meeting you
them.
and I had. That's the meeting we had over at,
The depot.
Yeah, that was
Yes,
that very brief
the
meeting.
depot.
at the
Oh, right.
It was
okay.
at 9 in the morning.
Right,
Rick was there.
yep.
yes.
I would make a motion to accept both of those.
I'll second that motion.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. The second item on the consent agenda is the warrants. And I'm looking at this. The board secretary gets paid, yay. Property insurance, tuition for the village school for this month, February. And I don't see any issues with that. It's a total of $134,664.73. So entertain a motion to accept.
So moved.
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. That gives us the consent agenda. We'll move on to policies. John's not here to talk about the policies. He's our member of the policy committee. The 6,000 curriculum we warned previously, and it's been warned at the SU, and we're adopting it. Or no, it's been warned at the SU, we warned it. Now we are asked to adopt this.
It's all state statute stuff, right? Seems to be.
Yeah,
As specified Vermont state law.
well, I don't think there's anything we're going to complain
Right.
about. It doesn't
Yeah.
affect us in terms of.
I'll make a
we
motion
don't
to
have
adopt
school.
policy 6,000 curriculum.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. How about 50-15 personalized learning plans? I think we had
Again.
John arguing that it was a decent policy last month.
Yep.
So we need to adopt that one.
And I'll make a motion to adopt policy 5015 personalized learning plans.
I will second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then I do not know anything about the substitute teachers.
Nor does it mean, again, it's,
Again, it doesn't
Doesn't apply.
affect our actual operations.
um,
These are requirements for unlicensed persons.
if we adopted this, would this would not in any way affect the
No.
policy that the village school has?
No,
They
we
can
have
their
no
own-
control over that.
Right.
I have my own policy because I'm the substitute caller for the
There you
village
go.
school, and I have the list.
You gotta get through your door before anybody's.
You got
got-
it. Nice.
It looks like they had a lot of discussion on this somewhere, because there's an
Lots of
awful lot of.
A lot of strikeouts.
Strikeouts and a lot of add-ins.
Yep.
Now, do we know if this is for adoption or,
No, this is a warning.
okay.
I think we can warn it.
I like their bit that they had to strike about an unlicensed person.
So where's the,
Unlicensed as an educator, line 19. Which they had to change to a person without an educator's license may be employed,
Mhm.
and an unlicensed person.
Yes. That's an odd locution.
I myself don't have a person license.
right. Well. Good catch.
Okay.
So we just we move to warn.
Yeah, we'll move to warn.
I'll make a motion to warn.
I'll second that motion.
That's policy 4261, substitute teachers.
All right, I'll call the question. All
Aye.
in favor of warning it?
Aye.
Done with policies. So we could do, I mean, you want to hold off on an Act 46 update, or should I go to, can you do that?
I don't think there's, I mean, there isn't much to
Say?
say. We went to Pownell and had a meeting down there. Nothing, I think there's a lot of wheels spinning and no distance going very far,
Mhm.
particularly with, it's my feeling with that committee. I felt like we were rehashing pretty much what happened at the Shasberry meeting a month earlier.
Mhm. Because there had been no real meeting in between.
Right, and also they were waiting for some clarification. Jim did update, I think, a refined sense of where the state is coming down on some of these, but we're still left with, we've got to continue to have discussions with Shaftesbury. And I know that Bruce and Larry met prior to this
Right.
meeting, that meeting.
Yeah.
And that they've had, I think that Shasberry, in representing us as well, because has had some further discussions with Arlington
Right.
as to where they're at, I guess.
They've been having talks with, like, West Rutland, or, some districts up that way.
Oh, Rutland, or
Arlington.
Arlington, yeah, see, I don't know. I think that Shasberry's still trying to decide whether they're wanting to gather information about their options,
Yeah,
which
I
is good.
think Larry told me that because Arlington has applied for and received a grant, they have money to pay someone to conduct some research for them, and I believe that's where they're at the moment. They're awaiting some work, and I think they've sort of incorporated North Bennington
They
and
have.
Shasberry into that work.
Into the study, which is
Right.
great. One thing that Jim did say is that they're still trying to find somebody to do,
Yeah.
to do the same work down here.
Right.
And somebody suggested maybe there was a conflict of interest of the consultant doing the Arlington work. The problem is there's very few of these people that have been given license to,
There aren't enough of them.
there aren't enough of them and nobody wants to drive all the way to.
They're stretched
Bennington.
thin.
So you have to have a special license to.
I don't know if it's a license, but you have to have training or some credentials that demonstrate that you know how
Yeah,
to do
I
these
think,
kinds of
I think the
analysis.
agency hired Donna Russo, right, to sort of work with trainers and people
Right.
because she wrote the act.
Right.
Who knows it better?
So they're still looking and trying to find somebody who's willing to come down here. I guess the conflict issue would be related to them trying to look at modeling a relationship that would include some of the people that would be in the one that the SU would want to model. In other words, I don't see, I think
I
you
don't
have to be
see the
able to do that.
conflict.
I don't either, and maybe it's not.
Person's a consultant, they're not a voter, and they're not on the board.
Right. As long as they use the same numbers, that they come up with in terms of, budgets and liabilities and all that.
Yep.
For us, whether it's us going to Arlington or to Shasberry or to
Right.
the SU. Doesn't seem like
Right.
that. Maybe if Jim gets here before we adjourn, he may know more.
Right, okay. So, the only thing I wanted to talk about a little bit, really, the chair's report is really a discussion of the floor meeting, which occurs the Saturday before the March 1st Australian ballot on the warned articles. And you've all been to these things, so you know what we've done in the past. The last several years, Bruce Lehrman produced a PowerPoint presentation for us. And before that, Tom Martin produced a PowerPoint. This year, I think, because of Act 46, we need some presentation on that. I asked Bruce to send me, if he had it still, the electronic version of his PowerPoint, if he still had that. So we might use it as a template to work off of. And I guess I'm open for discussion from any of you about, what we want to say.
I wonder if he'd be willing to do that,
He might.
being the head of
The Act 46?
the Act 46 ad hoc committee.
Uh-huh.
If not, he's developed the deepest understanding of the statute as well as where we're at within that and the options of where we can go.
Mhm. Okay.
We can ask him if
Why don't we
if he's
ask
not
him?
gonna be available, maybe he would do a PowerPoint
Right.
that we could present. Short of that, we're talking, that's what, 2 weeks from Saturday?
2 weeks from Saturday.
Is it that close already?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'll just say that I have all the ballots, they've arrived, and I've mailed out more than the usual absentee requests. I think that I have more requests than usual.
You've been mailing them out for several years?
Well, just last year.
I've been mailing out Shasberry District 1
Okay.
for the time I've been doing it, so,
Right.
yeah, 2 years. This will be the third.
Do you have just to get to that, where are you at with needs for voting day?
Well, I talked to Norm about what I need, for
For setup.
equipment, setup, stuff like that. I've spoken with 2 people who I think will be able to help. But I think I need 4, and Michelle was supposed to get a hold of me because apparently Bennington will come and take care of the primary, but I can't do that, so I have to do my piece and they do theirs.
My
So
younger
I'm waiting
daughter,
on-
my younger daughter might be willing
Okay.
to help,
Yeah.
as Hannah used to.
Sure.
Good. And put some time in this.
Thank you.
Just keep us updated on that.
Okay. Mhm.
All right, well, you'll keep us informed if you need
I will if I
assistance
need,
from us.
yes. Thank you.
And
Be
just
happy
to,
to help.
just to make sure that, you'll be able to be at that Saturday meeting. Yep, and we'll see about Bruce. Who moderates that?
Rob.
Rob,
And will he?
well, he probably ought to be contacted.
Now,
Remind
Meg
him.
did ask me, I did get an email from Meg, over the weekend. She asked me when the
Yeah.
meeting was and
Because
where it was.
last year
They were away.
I don't think
They were away
No,
2
see,
years in a row.
Last year they had made arrangements for a trip and they
Right.
didn't realize they were.
So Meg knows, but I can certainly send that information
I'm
to
just gonna,
Rob.
I'll send him a thing right
Okay.
now.
So we need to make arrangements with Tom Martin to have Jimmy set up the room.
Mhm.
I have a sign from last year, which I think I used to direct people downstairs, from the lobby downstairs. Do we want to have,
What is that, 9 o'clock in the morning?
Mhm.
yes. Do we want to have, I mean, last year, I think, did we not have coffee?
We had coffee, there were coffee and donuts, and I think
Coffee and
that's,
donuts.
people look forward to that.
Yeah,
Or their pastry or something.
right.
I did not do that, I don't know who did that, but it was set up, I think Tom did that.
I think Tom did it, actually. Now, speaking, so that's sort of the logistics. And I think that can be taken care of. I'll speak to Tom about getting Jimmy to produce, a situation for us to have a meeting on Friday afternoon. And Tom and I will work out the coffee donuts.
Okay.
I had thoughts that I would like Tom to maybe do a little presentation because, there is this
Yeah.
just out,
Yep.
hot off the presses, so to speak.
Yeah, if he's willing to do something, I think it'd be great.
I told him that I expected him to be there. And
I mean, would it be more prudent to offer that option to other schools as well? Or is it because 98% of the budget
it's
goes to
our
this?
town academy.
Right,
We have
Yeah.
a special relationship
yeah, okay.
because
Just
they
asking.
take every student.
Yeah,
Right,
they're
there
the
you go.
ones who are handling all the special ed.
That's right. That's a good, fine distinction.
I think that
Make it more open.
if there are brochures that Southshire or Highland Hall have, we'd
Sure.
be fine with having them out there.
Mhm.
But typically, we don't get many parents.
Right.
However, the people that do come would be interested in what's happening here. Sure of that. So, now, any report on the school has got to have a report on how kids are doing, so we expect that out of them, yeah.
Mhm.
But we're not asking for test scores or anything like that, we're just asking for kind of a
Yeah,
I think
state of
so.
the state.
state of the state. And then, I don't suppose Tim Newbold could be persuaded to come down here, could he? His picture's in here.
Did anybody see him on
I did.
Monday?
I did. I know that he visited the pre-K for quite a while. He was a little guy going into there.
Oh, good.
And second grade, he was there, third grade, and he visited with Matthew at the Vermont Arts Exchange for quite a while.
Mhm.
So some of us did.
He tried to
He
connect
stopped
with
in my
me,
room
but I
for a
couldn't make it
For
work.
the
so.
public who may watch this, Tim Newbold is the newly appointed headmaster to begin his duties July 1st at the village school of North Bennington.
And he's moving into the community with 3
Right.
young children. I'm not sure, but I believe they've found a house within the district, so that's great.
Yeah.
I could send him another.
It's
Yeah.
not, it's not a requirement. but
No, it clearly isn't.
It would, we ought to extend an invitation, I think.
Okay, well, I will do that. I'll make a note to do that tomorrow.
So beyond that, we will have some copies of the annual report, which also includes the Mount Anthony annual report, I believe, or parts of it. And that we'll have some printed copies for the floor meeting. For a while, Tom was having sixth graders deliver them to people who called and asked for them, but I don't know if there are people calling and asking for them.
Yeah.
Maybe I should, I think there will be a printed card that goes out to, I guess they use the registered voters. maybe
Yeah.
it is.
It's funny, I would think we would have had that by now. It's only 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, you know, it seems like, but I just got through doing the dedication
Okay.
for it, so, I sent the dedication around to you guys. Did I send it to you,
I did,
Mary?
get it.
If it was today, I
No,
No.
haven't seen it, no.
But it was fine. It was,
Yeah.
Several days ago. And I read it to Gene McWaters over the phone. She
So you
pointed out
submitted
that I
it.
had identified him as coming from Brooklyn, and he came from the Bronx.
oh.
I changed
Oh.
that.
It's lethal there. So we're waiting to get that from them, from the SU.
Yeah, and maybe I should inquire to Amanda Weber at the SU about the reports and getting, she hasn't asked me how many copies. I assume she just figures she's doing what she did last year, and how we get them.
Okay.
Okay. And I
What's
guess
the
we'll just
protocol
be there,
here?
answer questions beyond that.
Oh, yeah. But what do we do here? Do we wait for superintendent, or do we?
Well, yeah, I kind of want to have a conversation with him in executive session about personnel, so I would like to wait at least.
Okay.
Of course, I've got work to do too. I could go clean the bathrooms.
Well, why don't we,
We could,
what we can let her go home.
Right.
yes,
But we extend the meeting, or the word I'm looking for.
we could,
We won't be,
Say we're
we
going
won't be
into-
taking any action, and we'll go into executive
Right.
session. There'll be no
We'll
action
just,
taken afterwards.
what-
Can we do that?
yeah, what do we call it? Shoot.
Lori, help us out here.
Take a
I
recess.
don't know, you're going into a recess for.
We're taking a recess.
Yes,
But we'll be going into
a
executive.
dinner recess.
Permanent recess.
Yeah,
And then going into an executive
and we
session
thank our Cat TV
with no business to be.
filmer for her
To
presence.
be acted on.
And wish her good luck on healing her foot.
Thanks.